Have you ever wondered, dang, Minecraft is such a fun game. There's so many different creative ways to play it that everyone can enjoy. But you know what would make it even more fun? Playing as Super Mario in Minecraft. And I don't mean like a Super Mario skin. I mean actual Super Mario inside of Minecraft. You haven't? Well, too bad, because I did. This is Retro64, a Minecraft mod developed by PDX Dillon that injects Super Mario 64 into Minecraft. Character, physics, and all. And with this mod, I had the brilliant idea to test if it is possible to play through Minecraft, kill the Ender Dragon, and reach the end credits all as Super Mario. And let's just say the results of this experiment were not what I was expecting. We started off with our new world where a nice big tree stood as well as some sheep, perfect for making a bed. Now initially going into this, I wanted to try and beat the entire game in third person only, as it shows off Mario the best. But I ran into an issue that made me rethink this as I was harvesting the tree. Yeah, so unless I want to be staring up into Mario's nether region, which, I don't know about you, but I certainly don't want to, I'm gonna have to switch to first person view on occasion. After making myself a bed, I went exploring around and found a really nice mountainous area with a little alcove where I could make my base. I explored the alcove a bit more and navigated a tunnel that went in deeper, only to discover a neat little quirk about this mod. Mario can fit in 1 block high spaces that the average Minecraft player cannot, and neither can most mobs either. So after fortifying my base appropriately, it was time to get mining. Eventually I found a cave system with the hopes of finding diamonds, but unfortunately for me, this is where the troubles began. From mobs pouring out of everywhere, to me constantly losing my stuff, to all the water and lava, it was a genuine nightmare to traverse it all. But the worst part came when I finally found diamonds, only to lose them to a bunch of mobs in a lava fall. At this point, I was ready to give up on this challenge. It wasn't fun anymore. Mario's physics were a pain to get used to, as it was easy to keep falling down several wide levels when knocked down, and the sheer amount of mobs made it an absolute hell to get anywhere. Was this where it would all end? Was it truly impossibly difficult to beat Minecraft as Super Mario? But what if I just needed to try again? What if I needed to turn on Keep Inventory to make the game more fun and less stressful? What if I needed to hope for better cave and resource spawns? What if I just needed to take the knowledge I had gained and bring it into a second world attempt with hopes of it being the attempt to bring home the gold? The challenge wasn't over yet. It was time for round 2. I named the new world appropriately, turned on Keep Inventory and Instant Respawn, and booted up into the brand new world. Right away I spawned in a jungle, meaning that I would have no shortage of wood. I located sheep nearby to gather wool for a bed, then found a neat waterfall into a hole and decided to station myself at the bottom of that hole. Digging went fairly smooth, much smoother than the first world was. Eventually I found myself in a cave system still in positive Y chords and went to explore around it. Imagine my surprise when I found it. The faded diamond I had struggled so hard to find in my previous world. All of a sudden, it was becoming fun to play this again. After more digging, I located yet another cave system, this time with not as big rooms and open space. A lot of traversal and lighting up the area with torches later, I finally found yet another diamond, inconveniently off camera. But I needed 3 for a pickaxe, and fortunately before long, I found myself blessed with a vein of not 1, not 2, but 3 diamonds, which in total gave me enough for a pickaxe and a sword. I knew exactly what I had to do next. 1 water bucket on lava and some mining later, I had obsidian for another portal. I set it up down below, and yeah, I didn't get a very favorable nether spawn. And when I tried re-entering the portal to get back home, this happened. That's not where I'm supposed to pop out. Some relocation efforts later, and I finally had a more advantageous position to go find a nether fortress. However, despite Mario's dexterity and traversal moveset, getting around the nether proved more difficult than usual. Eventually my patience grew thin, and I resorted to the worst thing I could possibly do. cheat. Look, I could already prove Mario can get around. I didn't want to spend 10 hours constantly dying while trying to find a nether fortress. But die I did as I traversed through that nether fortress. Fortunately, Mario can't have any status conditions other than burning, so wither skeletons were much less of a threat here. And after a bit of looking, I found a nice blaze spawner nearby that I farmed for a nice 10 blaze rods, enough for 20 blaze powder. And now for the even more tedious part. Enderman farming. At this point, I should note that around this time I had made 2 more discoveries. 1, if Mario uses the action button in any way while holding a sword, it will use the sword and the hitbox lingers longer than it usually would in Minecraft. And 2, Mario doesn't have as much health as typical Minecraft. He only has 8 health like in the original game as dictated by the 4 hearts on screen. And the only 2 ways that I could find he could heal were by gaining enough experience orbs and swimming, weirdly enough. This knowledge would be very helpful for the Nether Fortress and the Enderman hunting, even though the Enderman hunting proved to be less than fruitful after 2 straight nights of no Ender Pearls. And after accidentally using an Ender Pearl I had just obtained, I cheated one more time. Oh hey, 17 more Ender Pearls, wonder where those came from. With 20 Eyes of Ender in hand, it was time for me to finish this challenge by locating a stronghold where the end portal was being held. But to do that, I'd first have to cross a large ocean. And I mean large ocean. This thing was huge. Skill hills and valleys, avoid monsters, until I could finally start digging down, to which I found it in no time. But that was only the first hardship. Then came actually finding it in the mess of tunnels and rooms that made up the stronghold. I even had some close encounters with a cluster of mobs and silverfish constantly coming out of the woodworks. But I survived and pressed on until finally, the portal was located. After setting down my bed and spawn point and laying down the Eyes of Ender, it was finally time to go to the end. Well, that's not a good start. For whatever reason, the game would constantly spawn me under the starting platform every time I entered the end, meaning that I'd always get stuck in a bunch of endstone. But after mining a bunch of the area out, now it was finally time to face the Ender Dragon to finish this challenge off. I started by taking on the Ender Crystals with iron bars surrounding them, and I quickly discovered that thanks to Mario's high jumps, I didn't have to place as many blocks to scale each tower. However, I would always take damage when I blew up the crystal, and when I jumped off the tower, and when I accidentally aggravated an Enderman, and it took me a while before I eventually realized, wait, I don't have to keep dying here. I have a bucket of water that I can lay down and swim in to heal. From there I kept destroying the crystals and even managed to long jump across a few pillars to reach the crystals. Except for that pillar, I missed that one. But with all of the crystals destroyed, there was one thing left to do. Kill the Ender Dragon. As it turned out, the best strategy was to wait for the dragon to descend and with Diamond Sword in hand jump and kick the dragon, as the extended hitbox would hurt it twice with each jump. However, this strategy would only serve to eradicate a quarter of its health before it would fly away again, which meant a lot of waiting and being patient for the next opportunity, then swimming to heal for any damage lost. But eventually, Mario managed to sneak in a quick power nap which gave him enough energy to do this. And thus, it was finally over. I'd finally done the unthinkable and proven to the world that it is very much possible to complete Minecraft as Super Mario. And yeah, sure, I cheated, but mainly only to gather the materials to find the stronghold. I still found diamonds, beat up monsters, and killed the Ender Dragon all by myself in the end. But the main takeaway I want to leave with you all today is simply this. Please don't attempt this for yourself. While Super Mario 64's physics are great for traversing the land, they're not so great for mining or exploring smaller places. I cannot tell you how many times I struggled to open the iron doors in the stronghold. It sucked so badly. Not only that, but I ran into getting spawned into the ground or below the ground when entering another dimension, getting stuck falling down several Y levels when hit, and worst of all, the skeletons. Those stupid jerks would keep sniping me mid-jump and causing me to fall backwards time after time after time at the time again. I just want to wring their stupid bony necks and throw them onto the ground. Yeah, I clearly needed therapy after this.